Have you ever typed a question into an AI tool, got a vague or wrong answer, and then rephrased it slightly, and suddenly the response was exactly what you needed? That gap between the first attempt and the second is prompt engineering. It is the single most practical skill you can develop when working with language models, and in this video we are going to cover it completely. By the end you will have a full toolkit: how to structure prompts for maximum clarity, how to teach the model by example, how to make it reason step by step, and how to force it to return structured output your code can actually use. No fluff, just techniques that work. Let us get into it. We need two packages for this chapter: transformers for loading and running GPT-2, and outlines for constraint sampling later in the chapter. Outlines is a pure Python library that works on any CPU, no compilation, no GPU required. It enforces output structure at the token level, which is a technique we will use to guarantee valid JSON output every single time. Run this cell once, restart your kernel, then continue. We install both packages in one shot. Throughout this chapter we will use GPT-2 as our working model. GPT-2 runs on any CPU without a GPU, which means every example in this notebook works on any laptop. The prompt engineering techniques we are about to cover: structured prompts, in-context learning, chain prompting, chain of thought, all work identically with larger models like Phi-3 or GPT-4. You would simply swap the model name and the output quality improves, but the code pattern stays exactly the same. One important difference to keep in mind: GPT-2 is a raw text completion model, not an instruction-tuned chat model. So instead of the role-based messages format, we pass plain text prompts and the model continues them. In a later video, when we move to Phi-3 and other instruction-tuned models, we will switch to the messages format and revisit all these techniques with a far more capable model. We load GPT-2 and build the pipeline. Two things worth noting. First, float 32 is required for CPU inference. Float 16 will crash without a GPU. Second, we set the pad token to the end of sequence token to suppress a harmless GPT-2 warning about padding. In the pipeline we set truncation to true, which ensures that if any prompt exceeds the model's context window it is cleanly cut rather than causing an error. Max new tokens of 100 is our default generation length. We can override it per call. With GPT-2 loaded, let us run our first prompt. Because GPT-2 is a completion model, we pass a plain text string and it continues it. The prompt is the setup. The model generates what comes next. This is the baseline with no engineering applied. In the sections that follow we will add structure and watch how the output changes with each technique we layer on. We pass a plain text string to the pipeline. The colon at the end of the prompt acts as a natural continuation cue. The model picks up right after it. Return full text equals false means we only see the newly generated tokens, not the prompt echoed back. This is our baseline, a plain, unstructured prompt with no engineering. Everything we build from here is about improving on this starting point. GPT-2 takes plain text. But instruction-tuned models like Phi-3, LaMA, and Mistral use a structured messages format, a list of dictionaries with role and content fields. When you pass that messages list to a Hugging Face pipeline, it does not reach the model as a Python dictionary. The pipeline internally converts it into a single formatted string with special tokens the model was trained to recognize. This cell shows you exactly what that formatted string looks like, using a hard-coded example of Phi-3's chat template. We are not calling the model here. We are just printing the structure so you understand what the model actually receives. When we move to feed 3 in a later video, this format will already feel familiar. Instead of calling apply chat template, which requires an instruction tune tokenizer that has a chat template built in, we print the formatted string directly. This is exactly what feed 3's pipeline produces internally when you pass it a messages list. The pipe character user pipe character marks the start of your message. Pipe character end pipe character closes it. Pipe character assistant pipe character is the cue that tells the model to start generating its response. GPT-2 has no concept of these tokens, which is why it takes plain text instead. When we switch to feed 3 in a later video, the pipeline handles all of this automatically behind the scenes. We have been using greedy decoding, always picking the most probable next token. That gives consistent, deterministic output. But sometimes you want variety and creativity. Two parameters control this: temperature and TOPI. We covered temperature in Chapter 1, but let us see it here in the context of an instruction-tuned model. Temperature scales the logits before softmax. Higher means a flatter distribution and more random choices. TOPI, also called nucleus sampling, keeps only the smallest set of tokens whose cumulative probability exceeds p, then samples from that set. We run the same prompt twice, once with temperature 1.0 and once with TOPI 1.0. Both use dosample equals true to enable sampling. Run each block several times and notice how the output varies. With temperature at 1, you are sampling directly from the raw distribution. With TOPI at 1, the full vocabulary is available at each step. In production, temperature between 0.7 and 1 works well for creative tasks. Keep it close to 0 for factual or structured output where consistency matters. A plain user message gets a reasonable response. But language models are far more controllable than most people realize. A well-engineered prompt is built from distinct components, each doing a specific job. Think of it like a job brief. The more context, constraints, and role clarity you provide, the more reliably the model delivers what you actually need. The 6 components of a strong prompt are: persona, which sets who the model is pretending to be; instruction, which states what you want done; context, which explains the purpose; data format, which specifies the structure of the output; audience, which describes who will read it; and tone, which sets the register. You do not always need all 6, but knowing they exist means you can reach for them when a response is not quite right. Here we build a prompt from multiple components assembled into a single string. Each piece is a separate variable: persona, instruction, context, data format, audience, and tone. We concatenate them in order and then append the actual text to process. With GPT-2 as a completion model, the assembled prompt becomes a long prefix that guides the style and content of the continuation. With an instruction-tuned model like feed 3, each component goes inside the content field of the user message. The structure is identical, just wrapped differently. Try commenting out individual components and running. You will see the output shift in exactly the direction you changed. That cause and effect relationship is the core skill of prompt engineering. We pass the assembled prompt to the pipeline. The long structured prefix nudges GPT-2 toward a more focused continuation that respects the framing we set. We pass max new tokens of 60 explicitly. This tells the pipeline exactly how many new tokens to generate on top of the input, regardless of how long the input prompt is. Compare the output to the plain one-liner from earlier. The improvement came entirely from the prompt. The model weights did not change at all. So, We have seen how to structure a prompt with components. But there is another powerful technique that goes beyond instructions, giving the model examples of exactly what you want. This is called in-context learning, and it is one of the most reliable ways to shape model behavior without any fine-tuning. The idea is simple. Include one or more example input-output pairs directly in the conversation history before your actual request. The model reads those examples as part of the context and infers the pattern you want it to follow. When you provide 0 examples, it is called zero-shot. One example is one-shot. Multiple examples is few-shot. Let us see this with a made-up word that the model has never encountered in training, which proves it is genuinely learning from the example in context, not from memorized knowledge. For in-context learning with GPT-2, we format the examples as plain text. We show the pattern once, a definition of the made-up word, gigamoru, followed by an example sentence, then, we set up the second word, screed, in the same format and let the model complete it. The model reads the example pattern from the text and applies it to the new case. We print the full prompt first so we can see exactly what the model receives before it generates anything. The model completes the prompt by producing an example sentence using screed, a word that does not exist anywhere in its training data. It learned the required format entirely from the one example we provided in context. This is in-context learning, no fine-tuning, no weight updates, just a pattern demonstrated in the prompt itself. With an instruction-tuned model, the same concept works inside the messages format with even more reliable results. In-context learning gives the model a pattern to follow. But what about tasks that are genuinely too complex to do well in a single prompt? That is where chain prompting comes in. The idea is to decompose a complex task into a sequence of simpler steps, where the output of each prompt becomes the input to the next. Instead of asking for a fully developed product campaign in one shot, you first ask for a product name and slogan. Then you feed that output into a second prompt that asks for a sales pitch. Then you might feed that into a third prompt that adapts it for a specific audience. Each individual prompt is simple and focused. The chain produces something far more refined than any single prompt could. Step 1 of the chain. We ask the model to generate a product name and slogan. The colon at the end is the natural handoff point for a completion model. We store the output in product description. This string becomes the direct input to the next prompt. One task, one output, stored cleanly, that is the discipline that makes chain prompting reliable. Step 2 embeds the product description from step 1 directly into a new prompt using an F-string. The model now has the full product context and we ask it to write a short sales pitch. Because we kept step 1 focused, the context here is clean and specific. That is a compounding benefit of chain prompting. Each focused step makes the next step easier for the model. Chain prompting breaks a complex task across multiple separate calls. Chain of thought is different. It happens inside a single prompt, and it teaches the model to reason step by step before giving a final answer. The key insight is that language models generate tokens left to right, and each token is influenced by everything that came before it. If you force the model to write out its reasoning steps before reaching a conclusion, those intermediate steps become part of the context for the final answer. The model literally thinks better because you gave it space to think. We demonstrate this with a classic reasoning benchmark, a word problem that simple models often get wrong when asked for a direct answer, but get right when guided through the steps. For chain of thought with GPT-2, we format the example as a plain Q&A exchange. We show the question, then the step-by-step reasoning, then the answer, all as continuous text. Then, we immediately follow with the new question and a colon to cue the continuation. The model reads the reasoning pattern and applies the same structure to the new problem. Watch the output attempt intermediate steps before landing on a number, that is the chain of thought pattern being transferred from the example. The chain of thought example we just saw required us to write out a worked example. But there is a simpler version that often works surprisingly well, zero-shot chain of thought. Instead of providing an example, you simply append the phrase, "Let us think step by step," to your question. That is it. That short phrase reliably triggers the model to produce explicit reasoning steps before reaching a conclusion. It works because instruction-tuned models have seen countless examples during training where step-by-step reasoning leads to correct answers. The phrase, "Let us think step by step," activates that pattern from training without you needing to provide a single example. It is one of the highest return on investment tricks in prompt engineering. Zero-shot chain of thought, the same Apple problem, no example. We simply append, "Let us think step by step," to the question. That phrase nudges the model toward producing intermediate steps before a final answer. With instruction-tuned models, this is extremely reliable. With GPT-2 the effect is more subtle, but compare this output to asking the question cold without the phrase, and you will see the continuation is more deliberate. Chain of thought follows a single reasoning path. Tree of thought goes further. It prompts the model to simulate multiple experts' reasoning in parallel, each contributing one step at a time, and to discard any expert whose reasoning turns out to be wrong. The result is a kind of internal debate that tends to produce more robust answers for complex problems. The clever part is that this entire multi-expert deliberation happens inside a single prompt. We do not need any special infrastructure. We just describe the process in natural language and the model simulates it. This technique is particularly useful for problems where a single chain of reasoning might go down the wrong path early and compound that error. Tree of thought in a plain text completion style. We set up the multi-expert scenario as a paragraph, then let the model continue with the simulated discussion. The prompt describes the rules, one step at a time, share with the group, drop out if wrong, and the model generates the deliberation. With GPT-2 the simulation is rough, but the concept is clear. With an instruction-tuned model this produces remarkably coherent multi-perspective reasoning that can catch errors a single chain would miss. So far we have been working with freeform text responses. But many real applications need structured output, JSON for an API, a specific format for a database, a template for a report. This is where prompt engineering and output verification intersect. The simplest approach is to ask for the format explicitly in the prompt. Zero shot, just describe what you want. One shot, provide an exact example of the output structure. The model learns the format from the example and replicates it. Let us compare both and see the difference. Zero-shot output control. We ask for a character profile in JSON format with no example. The model will produce something that resembles JSON, but the specific fields, what it names them, how many it includes, whether it nests values, will vary between runs. This is the baseline for structured output. It works sometimes, but it is not reliable enough for production code that needs to call JSON.loads without error handling. One-shot output control. We embed an exact JSON template directly in the prompt. The model reads the schema, description, name, ammo, weapon, and replicates that exact structure. Compare the output to the zero-shot version. The fields should now be consistent and predictable. This is how you build reliable text-to-structure data pipelines. Give the model a concrete template it can copy, not just a vague instruction to use JSON format. One-shot prompting improves JSON reliability, but it still does not guarantee it. The model might add extra commentary, wrap the output in markdown code fences, or subtly deviate from the schema. For production systems where your code needs to call JSON.loads without crashing, you need something stronger, constrained sampling. The library we use is called Outlines. It works by intercepting the model's token selection at every single step and masking out any token that would produce invalid JSON at that position. If the output so far is an open brace and a string key, the only valid next token is a colon. All other tokens are zeroed out before the model can choose them. The model literally cannot produce invalid JSON because invalid tokens are never available. Outlines wraps any already loaded Hugging Face model and tokenizer, so we can reuse the GPT-2 we loaded earlier without downloading anything new. We do not need to delete the GPT-2 model here. Outlines works by wrapping our already loaded Hugging Face model and tokenizer. It does not need a separate model or a new download. We just pass the objects we already have in memory. This is one of the nice things about Outlines, zero extra setup cost if you already have a model loaded. We wrap our already loaded GPT-2 model and tokenizer with Outlines. From transformers. This gives us a constrained model object. In the current Outlines API, calling this object directly with a prompt and a schema is all we need, no separate generator step required. The constrained sampling engine is attached to the model itself. We define a pydantic schema for our RPG character with 4 fields: name, armor, weapon as strings, and level as an integer. In the current Outlines API, we call the model object directly with 2 arguments, the prompt string and the schema class. We also pass max tokens of 200 to give the model enough room to complete the full JSON object without being cut off mid-value. What comes back is a JSON string guaranteed to match the schema. We pass and display the result. Because Outlines constrains the token selection to valid JSON, the output string should pass cleanly. We call JSON.loads to get a Python dictionary and pretty print it with indent 4. Then, we validate it into our pydantic model to get type attribute access. If the result is already a pydantic object rather than a string, which some versions of Outlines return, we handle that path too. Let us land everything we covered in this chapter. We started with how GPT-2 takes plain text while instruction-tuned models like Phi-3 use the structured role content messages format. We explored temperature and TOPI as the 2 main dials for controlling creativity. Higher values give more varied output, lower values give more focused and deterministic responses. We built up the anatomy of a well-structured prompt, persona, instruction, context, data format, audience, and tone, and saw how each component sharpens the output independently. We used in-context learning to teach the model a pattern by example, without any fine-tuning. We used chain prompting to break a complex task into focused sequential steps. We used chain of thought to give the model space to reason before answering, both with an example and with the zero-shot phrase, "Let us think step by step." We simulated multiple reasoning experts with tree of thought. And we ended with constrained sampling using Outlines, which enforces JSON schema at the token level so invalid output is literally impossible. These techniques compound. A production prompt engineering system uses all of them together: structured components, one-shot format examples, chain of thought when reasoning matters, and constrained sampling when the output feeds downstream code. See you in the next chapter.